on the transit.
Okay.
So we've just come through. That was the first big creek that we crossed.
Right.
And we've just come through a few ridges, and
Yeah.
we've now gone through that creek, and we're now coming up onto this ridge, which is coming up to about 670 years ago.
Okay.
This was in place.
Right.
So
This is another quite
high ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it comes down from that creek.
Yeah. That's right.
There's in the shade down there, and that's in one of the swales, I guess.
That's right. Yeah. The creeks tend to follow along the swales.
Yeah.
They're just floodways for wet season water.
Right.
Yeah, but you can see that they're very obvious, the ridges through here.
Yeah.
And they're made up of very coarse, gritty sands.
Let's see if I can get a close-up of the sand, actually. Would you put your hand down so I can let's get the scale? Yeah, so that's quite coarse, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. So how far would the coast... I mean,
How far is the coast from here?
Yes, I mean... Is it
Well, actually, we were about... according to this survey, we were 1,250 metres from the coast.
Oh, right.
Which I'm not too sure if I actually believe, because it doesn't seem that far to me. But anyway, according to this, we should be about 500 metres from the sea.
Right.
So,
okay.
But anyway, we're a few hundred metres anyway.
Right.
You can hear the sea now.
You can.
Yeah.
And they're quite closely spaced here, the ridges.
Yeah.
Now, would the beach ridge been at the back of the beach when it was deposited, or?
Yes. Yes.
So where the beach is now is not where it was.
No. Each one of these ridges represents a strand line or
at the
position of the beach. So they're formed right at the back of the beach.
Okay. So it's the whole system has prograded that far.
Absolutely.
In 500 or 600 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So I guess we're, on average, we're probably looking at, well, from here we've got about a metre per year.
Right.
Being added over the long term.
Yeah.
When we average it over the whole lot, we're probably getting much less than that.
Okay.
But this part here is just prograded quite rapidly.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So whereas a lot of coastlines around the world are worrying about coastal retreat, here you've got this problem of, well, not problem, but you've got coastal progradation where it's actually building out into the sea. Theoretically,
but also where our houses, and you see, we build our houses in this part of Australia right at the back of beaches. In some instances, only 10 or 20 metres away from the high tide line.
Okay.
And in those instances, we're seeing beaches eroding at the present time in Cairns, and those houses are being threatened.
Right.
So we're having to put up rock walls.
Okay.
To try and protect them, and that, of course, then results in erosion and removal of the high tide beach.
Yes.
So we end up with hardly any beach there at all.
Right.
And in some instances, just mud flats. So it's quite an unattractive situation.
Okay.
And but what we've found is that we've got aerial photographs going back to about 1945.
Right.
And we look at those and compare them over time, and can see that the beaches tend to prograde out for a while, erode back for a while, prograde, etc., etc.
So you've got this very long-term trend, talking over a millennia, of coastal progradation, the beaches building out.
Yep.
But in the short term, you've got these pruning back.
That's right.
Coastal retreat episodes superimposed on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so we build the houses too close to the coast, and then we get impacted by one of these trimming back phases. And then we have to put in some hard engineering work to protect the beach, and then we lose the beach altogether.
Yeah.
So if we just build 200 metres back from the beach, leave a buffer of green vegetation, everything would be happy.
It'd be happy, yeah.
We'd still have our beaches. People would still have easy access to the coast.
Yeah.
And
I was down in Brisbane beginning of the month, and I understand that there, just a couple of months ago, they had some what they were calling king tides.
Yeah.
That came in and scarped the back of the beach.
Yep.
And undermined some properties and inundated some of the beach properties there. So I guess it's a similar thing happening all the way along the Queensland coastline, not just here in Cairns.
No, and right along the east coast of Australia, in fact.
Right.
We have had some very high tides this year, and some storms which have generated large swells that have been occurring in southeast Queensland. We had a tropical cyclone that tracked down the coast. It was a Category 5 for a while, and it generated very large swells. Eroded parts of the beach and the dunes down there.
Yeah.
And was causing major problems in terms of beach erosion. In Byron Bay in northern New South Wales, we've now got a situation where some people want development of the area close to the beach, the land close to the beach, and other people want, in fact, the houses that are already there to be, resumed or bought up by the local government, and a planned retreat to occur.
Okay.
So there's quite a bit of division.
Right.
In
so we've seen that in Britain as well. Parts of the coastline are being, well, not really bought up or anything, but they're just being told, well, we're leaving you to your own devices and your own protection, and managed retreat they're calling it. But really it's sort of leaving it to nature's devices.
So quite a stir about this at the moment.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to do something because, many places the coast is receding.
Yeah.
We have we still have quite a bit of sand being pushed out by our rivers.
Right.
And that's the other thing about where these beach ridge plains occur. We've always got a very large river near the site, pushing a lot of sediment out into the beach.
So you've got a good sediment supply
that
sort of gets used and reworked by the cyclones.
That's right. Yeah. That's exactly right. And these beach ridges are a function of how much sediment is really coming out from those streams.
Yeah.
But it then needs a cyclone to come through and start building it up into a ridge.
Yes.
Well, a series of waves and inundation events, but eventually a cyclone will be the ones that make the ridges taller, or very tall.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.